Oh, there you go. Well done.
Did you
Good work,
remember
Rich.
to bring the sign back tonight?
You're in charge now.
Okay, sometime.
Okay.
Oh, you
Somebody
get many of
get
this
through all
stuff.
this tonight.
Okay.
Just
Any of this
drop it
stuff,
off.
it's got wires and circuits and, oh God,
Yep.
yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
Oh, he's just back there going like this. I got the exact same trailer.
Tonight.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I love that. I love that.
Yeah, sure, a lot easier to load than ramps and all
The
that.
only thing I don't like about it, I got the ramps. They go in the back of the crate, okay?
Mhm.
And
Oh.
it's darn heavy. You can probably sell it, or if I use it to move the tractor or whatever. I strap the ramps to the back. Instead of putting it back in there, the thing is too hard. I wish I had a thing, they were hydraulic.
That's why I got it.
Yeah, I don't have that.
Yeah, so I have that. Saved a lot of work.
Yeah, I wish I did have that.
And then,
There was probably an app when I bought the voting for the state.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure
This
Keith's,
is an older guy that had it. So
I
he probably, that was probably an accessory.
Oh,
it's all
actually, right behind.
No, it's a separate trailer, I mean, where they have it or they don't.
Oh,
May.
I wouldn't pay off for them in different type of configurations or that.
And on tonight's agenda.
No, they're a lot lighter when they
25th
don't
of the
have all the
26th.
hydraulics in there, because it's, you're not duplicating the frame.
Only column.
So it's
I don't
a
think that
single
needs to be
frame.
corrected anywhere. But just
Either one or the other.
Okay, well, good evening, everyone.
Yep, yep.
You're gonna turn your microphone on, please, and turn your phones off, and we'll get this meeting started. So, yeah, Rob Delasante is with us tonight. We're gonna be considering his application.
Hi, Bob.
Rob,
Oh, Rob.
goes by Rob,
Okay, Rob. I mean, got
with two B's.
it.
All right, and so we'll start the meeting. Caitlin is on vacation. She said after this, she'll be here every other meeting. She's missed two in a row, but. And Paul Miller just called me at 5:30. He got stuck in his property down in southern tier somewhere, so he,
In the rain?
I don't know if he literally got stuck.
Yeah.
He was on his property. And he wasn't gonna make the meeting, so this is us tonight, but we do have enough, we have a quorum, so we can carry on business, there's no problem with that. So we'll open the meeting, and Holly, if you would call the roll, please.
Chairman Mayhood.
Here.
Mr. Craig,
Here.
Mr. Engard,
Here.
Mr. Grove,
Here.
Mr. Ruthie,
Here.
Mr. Miller is absent and.
You'd stand with us and salute the flag, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Hey, first privilege of the floor. Is there anything anyone would like to bring up that's not on the agenda?
I'll bring one thing up. Tibbles Road is fantastic.
Did they resurface it?
Yeah, Tibbles between Wetmore or the Hill Road and Ross Road is all brand new.
Oh, wow.
Try it out some.
I know that's a pretty rough section of road. I'll tell you, our highway superintendent's doing a great job, I think, with
I think he
the
is.
roads in town. That's the work of him. Thank you. Okay, the public hearing, we'll open that when we get to the application, so we'll skip down to reports. Excuse me, approval of the minutes. The June, actually, the agenda says they're June 25th minutes, but that was June 26th. So if you care about that. Anyone have any corrections? They were included in your packet. I had two minor ones. I've already given Holly those. The dates, two different dates were needing to be corrected. There's nothing. We'll have a motion to approve.
So moved.
Steve Engard, second.
I'll
Wait, thank you. All in favor? Okay, thank you, everyone. Good job, Holly. We'll move into reports. Town board met July 10th. They, first order of business, they had a public hearing on their proposal for the town to pass a resolution stating that the town wants to have the ability to override the tax levy. They do this every year. It's a hedge. If the tax rates increase more than some amount, they can override those. So they do it every year. It's a matter of administration. So the public hearing was held, nobody spoke. Later on in the meeting, they did approve the resolution. We'll get to that. Not too much going on this month. Reports. CEO didn't have anything other than what's in his report. Honeoye Lake Watershed Task Force. They're still concerned about the high lake level. Part of the reason for the high lake level is that the outlet down at Mill Creek has filled in with gravel. Stuff washes down from the storms, particularly comes down from Mill Creek all the way around the back. And to be able to dredge that out requires having a DEC permit. They've applied for the permit from the DEC about 15 months ago. And the DEC has not acted on it yet, so they're very frustrated. Homeowners on the lake are a little frustrated because at some places the water level is high enough to interfere with their summer activities.
What all that work was that they did last summer? It was by the library and then that little restaurant across the street from the library. And they had excavators in there, they took stuff out.
They did it all washed in again. Something about the way one of the creeks can channel.
Yeah, I don't know,
Maybe it was a quick fix.
or perhaps it's a different part. I don't really know. Different part of the, because Mill Creek comes down, swings around and then joins the outlet from the lake. I would think if they had a DEC permit, part of it, they would do it. But anyway, that's the report.
Yeah.
Lake temperature was 78.3 degrees, Honeoye Lake, 78.3 degrees. I don't know where they measure it, but that's what they reported. And the weed harvesting has started, 1st of July. It's always a little controversial whether they should or shouldn't harvest weeds, but they're doing it again this year. Water department operations are going smoothly, no problems there. That's unfinished business, using Williamson Law Book for accounting software again, overriding the tax levy. Those were 2 resolutions that were passed. Going to be a budget workshop for our town, September 26th, Tuesday. We'll be looking at next year's budget if you're interested. And they're going to take down some ash trees. They're contracting that out. They said next door. I don't know if it's there or there, but they're contracting that out rather than having our own highway department do it. And that's pretty much it.
I'll add,
Joe,
one thing was you had asked a question about enforcement of the solar or the short-term rentals.
yes,
I thought that was interesting that Joe said that he could enforce it through state law.
yeah. I talked to him afterwards. You know, we drafted an amendment to the short-term rental regulation in putting in some penalties because our original one didn't have any penalties. That's been sitting at the supervisor's desk all this time. But Joe mentioned that New York State in their overarching law does have some consequences written into it already. So he could at least enforce it to that level. He didn't actually, he was going to give me a copy of that so I could compare it with what we had put in, but I didn't get that copy. So that was a good point. Yeah. And Joe Miller, the new code enforcement officer, did complete his certification. So he's official. So he can do all of the legal stuff that the CEO does. was very, everyone was pleased with him. Any questions about that? Okay. County Planning Board, Steve Grote.
Attended the July. Well. All our class twos, which, yeah, the referrals of class twos, have a countywide impact, text amendments. Text amendments, basically are referrals of local laws, amending existing regs.
Do you have your microphone on? For the recording, we can hear you, but for the
Yeah.
recording,
Want me to repeat it?
no, that's fine.
Okay. Yeah, so just one local that's kind of an FYI, the town of Richmond. Had a referral. This is from the applicant Norton Laundry Mill of Honeywell LLC. They're going to construct a 3-bay self-serve community car boat wash with a 2,100 square foot commercial building. Sounds like right down at the corner of they call it Main Street. It's got to be 20A and number 4815 County Road 37.
All those corners are occupied right now.
I
So
know.
Must be away from,
Thinking,
must be
I know.
away from the corner somewhere.
Yeah, but that's the address.
Let's soon tear something down.
You know, they call it Main Street at County Road 37, which is really 28.
What was it, 48?
4815 County Road 37.
So
It's just north of Main.
Self car wash, is that what it is?
Yeah, it's
Compete with the one
3-bay.
that's just down
Yeah.
the road?
They're billing it as like a car boat wash.
Oh, boat wash too.
Uh,
Okay,
Yeah, you kind of wonder because there's one just about almost across the street there, just down towards the village.
So it'd be on, if you're going County Road 37 outside, leaving from 28.
Right,
Past the valley and on your right hand side.
right.
There's that empty space there.
Oh, you know,
Just north.
I have seen a for sale sign there too
Okay.
for quite some time. You know,
So just north on the east side.
yeah. But that's the only thing, just an FYI. And like I say, all the other class twos. With text amendments and nothing else of the class ones that kind of in our area that might be of interest or even of interest if they aren't in our area.
okay, thanks, Steve. Questions for Steve? Grote? Thank you. Zoning Board, they did not meet this past month, so there's nothing to report on that. Code Enforcement included in your packet, Joe's report. He does have short-term permit information on this. And got some details on the third page of short-term rental permit situations. Any other questions? Can contact Joe Miller. All right. So we move to old business. We don't have any. We're all up to date on this, so we move to new business. So first thing I'm going to do is we're going to open a public hearing to consider the application of Mr. Ilasanti for a subdivision. Nobody's here, which doesn't surprise us, but we do open it and we will close it later. And so we'll move into opening the preliminary review. Yes, we do need a motion and a second to open.
Make a motion, we open the public. I'll make a motion, we open the public meeting.
Preliminary review.
For preliminary.
Preliminary review, okay. Burton, is there a second to open that?
I'll second.
Dwight, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Okay, wait a minute, to open the preliminary review or the public hearing?
I don't think we need a motion to
No,
open the public hearing.
okay,
Well, we do need a motion to close it.
right,
Anybody know?
I'll make a motion, we do
May
both.
as well do it.
Right. We'll do both.
Okay, we'll do both.
All right,
Oh,
Virgin, Mr. You think of it.
Yep.
Okay.
anyone object to either one of those? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, thank you, okay. All right, so, business we have is, Mr. Delisani owns property on South Old Bald Hill Road. I do have the, large map here. If you wanted to see any of the, the one I included, it's kind of small. If you wanted to see any other detail, here's the original walk up and see it, but, what's happening is Mr. Delisani owns a property on South Old Bald Hill Road. And he wants to subdivide that into two. And each part then will be added to an adjoining property. So we're basically eliminating one tax map, one lot. And if you look at the map, I've given you the tax map to show you where this is located. On South Old Bald Hill Road, okay, just to give you an idea of where it is. And then the detail on the subdivision. Is right here. So if you can see if you can see the bottom portion, this is the existing lot. Okay, this outside line is the existing lot. He wants to subdivide it here, here to here, okay? Here to here, so this is one parcel.
Oh, I see.
And then this is a second parcel. The parcel at the top is going to see this little jiggly mark here. Shows that it's going to be joined to the property to the north, which Mr. Delisani owns that. Okay, so that will be added to an existing conforming lot. The lower portion here is going to see the little jiggly line here, shows it's going to be added to the property immediately to the south. Okay, so we're not creating a new lot, we're just increasing the lot size of two adjoining lots, and that's his proposal. There are no services on the property. It's just, it's wooded or open, it's wooded, so there's nothing. There are no services on it, there's nothing special about it, and so that's just what they want to do, is split it up. And
What is this, like a big driveway?
that's a swale, I believe.
Oh.
Oh, wait, no, it says gravel driveway.
Yeah, I
An
see it up
asphalt
there,
driveway.
gravel giant.
Yep.
Just kind of cuts through there.
Or
That's,
Yeah, so this is Bald Hill.
right.
And then this goes up to,
Is there a grade?
this is in our property.
Is it Luciana?
Our existing, yeah, here you go.
What is this again now?
This is the drive up.
Okay,
Yeah. And there's two other private ones back here, this is the right, was the property.
okay, I see, I see.
it's a little bit-
Oh, okay, that's,
This-
okay, to
this
give
part-
access to the other two and this one, okay.
Okay.
I see.
So it's existing. Any questions about what he wants to do or concerns? I see no concerns whatsoever. You look at the requirements for what a map requires. They have everything on the map except contour lines. We talked about it, and since it's just open land and not planning any development. The surveyor did not put contour lines on the final survey. Everything else is there, the details, again, you can see more detail on that if you want to see it, but everything is conforming. Questions, comments? Entertain a motion to grant preliminary approval to the subdivision.
So move.
Okay, Steve Engard, is there a second?
I'll second.
Steve Grove. Any other discussion about it? All in favor? Aye, opposed? Good. So preliminary approval, so that basically means everything's okay. We will open the seeker review right now, these short environmental assessment form. You can look through there. I ran it through the EAF mapper. Nothing popped up. That's the state DEC mapping program they have. Nothing popped up. There was only one question, but the question was, the answer was that mapping information has not been done on that particular item. So everything else was okay on that. I didn't copy that to you. I don't normally. It's available if you want to see it. So we do look at the environmental assessment form. Hopefully you've looked at it ahead of time. Action is it's a subdivision of property, address is there. The brief description is just the same as it was on the application. Didn't know exactly what to say about the proposed action other than the current site is 5.5 acres. And we're splitting it, basically, we're splitting it to 2.75 and then the remaining. So that's why we put those numbers there. Any questions on any of the questions on part 1? Pretty straightforward here. Again, a subdivision, we're not really doing anything. No questions? Okay, we move to part 2. Bert, you want to read those? You usually read
Sure,
those
I'd
for
love
us?
to.
Okay, thank you.
Number 1, will the proposed action create a material conflict with an adopted land use plan or zoning regulations? No. Will the proposed action result in a change in the use or intensity of use of land? No. Will the proposed action impair the character or quality of existing community? No. Will the proposed action have an impact on the environmental characteristics that cause the establishment of the critical environmental area? No. Will the proposed action result in adverse change in the existing level of traffic or affect existing infrastructure for mass transit, biking, or walkway? No. Will the proposed action cause an increase in the use of energy, and if it fails to incorporate reasonably available energy conservation or renewable energy opportunities? No. Will the proposed action impact existing public-private water supplies, public-private wastewater treatment facilities? No. Will the proposed action impair the character or quality of important historic, archaeological, architectural, or aesthetic resources? No. Will the proposed action result in an adverse change to natural resources, e.g. wetlands, water bodies, groundwater, air quality, flora, fauna? No. Will the proposed action result in an increase in the potential for erosion, flooding, or drainage problems? No. Will the proposed action create a hazard to environmental resources or human health? No.
Thank you. So this is that based on the answers to part 1, all of these are no. So we make a motion that based on the answers, we would make a motion to say that this action will have no negative impact on the environment.
I'll make the motion.
Birch, Craig, second.
I'll second.
Dwight, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that's good. I'll just sign this and determine. Will not result in any. This point, we will close the public hearing. Again, nobody came to ask any questions, so by motion, we'll close the public hearing. Steve Engard is your second.
I'll second.
Thank you, Birch. All in favor?
Aye.
Closes the public hearing. All right. The next step in the process is to grant final, to consider final approval. We didn't raise any issues here that need to be mitigated, so I would entertain a motion to grant final approval to the subdivision application of Mr. De Los Santos.
So moved.
Steve Engard, a second.
I'll second.
Birch, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed. Thank you. That was easy. So what we need, Rob, is we need 3 paper copies, 2 additional plus 1 Mylar copy this size. And then when you need to be catch up with me,
3 paper and 1 Mylar.
3 paper and 1 Mylar. Here's one, so, you know, and you need to catch up with me, you know, by phone or email sometime, and I will stamp and sign it. And then you'll take it over to the real property office in Canandaigua, who will review it and send you downstairs to the or county clerk, and they'll record it.
And then bring the second.
And yeah, and bring the sign back, drop it off at your convenience there too. If you'd like, we could keep this one for the town. We can keep this one unless you want to take it back with you.
So if you keep that, then I just need the 2.
So you need 2 paper and 1 Mylar.
Okay.
And I'll stamp and sign it, and you'll be all done with us.
Okay.
You have any questions for us? Thanks very much.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Good night.
You too.
Wow, that was fast.
We gotta get out of here. Keep it moving.
Antiques Roadshow's on at 8 o'clock. Come on.
Antique Roadshow.
I love that.
All right. Well, this was clean. There's nothing going on there really, so. That's it. Privilege of the floor.
I just have a question on the
Oh, yeah,
Climate smart
that last thing.
communities, they're gonna do something at the town.
Well, this is a state Christopher asked me to include this to pass it out to. Basically, there are going to be some grants available to towns based upon that to qualify for them, it'd be based upon your town's activities to move to more green environmental issues, such as our geothermal. That's one. So the town got some points for that. The town got some points for the lighting, and so things like that that are going to be done in the town. I don't know if the upgrade to the parking lot and all that, but anyway, Chris wanted me to pass it out. You can read it, and I don't know the details, but you have to come up with a project. I mean, they've got up to $1 million for grants. If you come up with some worthwhile project that could come under this umbrella of climate.
The most green town in the whole state.
That's right. So there's nothing to do except if you have some ideas, you can mention them to Chris Hessel, our supervisor.
Were they gonna have some presentation before the next town board meeting?
Oh,
They
yes.
Talked about that,
Yeah, at the next town board meeting,
gonna start
they're
early.
gonna start at 6:30. And they're gonna have a presentation by someone from this group. If you're interested in coming to hear about it, let's see, did they
or
put
it's
it?
available on Zoom.
Yeah, okay, the Climate Smart Communities Initiatives Town Board meeting will start at 6:45 on August 14th, if you want to come to it. And here,
15 minutes worth.
well,
No, they start
They
at
got-
7:30.
they got 45 minutes.
You get training for it? Right?
No.
That has nothing to do with planning.
It's climate initiative. Climate
So
initiative.
it's at the, what?
It's
what's the
at
date of the meeting?
August 14th.
They offer.
Town board meeting starts
training
at 6:45. Well, we could ask
Yeah,
Christopher.
right,
I mean, that's a good point.
really.
I wasn't sure I was gonna come to it, but oops.
You're gonna have to find 15-minute trains.
That's right.
Go for now, we'll make up 15 minutes. Well, you could ask questions after, okay, so. And hold up, that's how board meeting.
And how it's gonna start?
It's 6:45, there's gonna be a presentation by some
Okay.
people from this clean, smart
Gotcha.
community activity. Laying out some of the details, so not more details. Otherwise, 7:30. No. All right.
Motion to adjourn.
Man, look at that. 30 minutes exactly.
Is there a second?
Great job.
Is there a second? All in favor? Aye. Thank you.
I'll just,
Thanks.
Yeah, I'll be right back. I want to give you something.
Oh,
I'll be right back.
I don't know how you got it off. That was pretty fast. I thought.
Yeah.